All right, howdy y'all, welcome back. So we are in the rig, and today we are out on a little bit of a haunted road trip. We're gonna check out some haunted places here in Nebraska and find ourselves a spot to camp tonight. It's kind of a rough day for camping. It is incredibly windy outside, and we are still in a burn ban, but we are also in a red flag warning, which is like low humidity, high winds, high fire danger kind of nonsense. So probably no campfire tonight, which is a bummer, but we've got some great spots to check out. And to start, I am here in Fremont, Nebraska at Barnard Park. There's a large park here, and history says that this park was at one point a graveyard. And as the city expanded, the bodies were all exhumed and moved to a different cemetery. But the old story goes that they missed a few bodies and they stay and haunt the park. But I believe there's a sign at the front, so we're going to hop out and check that out and see what it's all about. Stay tuned, y'all. Go over here and see what this says. It's a cool little park right here in the middle of town, off one of their fairly main roads, I believe. You can see they've got some stuff put out here. The city of Fremont did that for Halloween. And we've got a sign here. So I'll go ahead and read this to you. I don't know if this says anything about the fact that there was a cemetery here. And sorry for the noise, but like I said, I'm on a main road. This says something about the Mormon Pioneer Trail. It says the Mormon Pioneer Trail from Nouveau, Illinois to the Rocky Mountains passed here on April 17th, 1847. In this vicinity, a military-type organization was formed with Brigham Young Lieutenant General Stephen Markham, Colonel John Pack, and Shadrach Roundy. Majors and captains of hundreds, fifties, and tens in the company were 143 men, 3 women, and 2 boys. The pioneers reached the valley of the Great Salt Lake July 24th, 1847. Between that date and 1869, when the railroad reached Utah, approximately 80,000 persons followed the old trail to the mountains. Nearly 6,000 died and were buried along the way. Funds for this marker were provided by Mr. and Mrs. Dan B. Stevens of Fremont. So that really doesn't have anything relevant to the fact that this place was at one point a cemetery, and that is the only historical marker that I can see. I'm gonna wander around in here a little bit and see if there's anything else I can find. If not, we'll see what my phone says. I for sure thought that was gonna say something about the cemetery, but they might also not want to keep that, you know, relevant in history, that they moved a bunch of bodies to make a park. You can tell it's an older playground just by the type of equipment they have in the old slide. You know, an old school merry-go-round. They've got full bathrooms here. But that is it. Other than that secondary sign right there, there's nothing here that gives you that history of the park. See if I can pull up anything on my phone quick. It says this park was once a cemetery. This is off hauntedhouses.com. And stories say that when the city moved the bodies and turned it into a park, some of them were missed. There are a number of apparitions that are said to haunt here and like to roam late at night. Most notably a woman who has been spotted following the Mormon trail and lost her daughter, who died on a campsite here. Her apparition appears to cry over her lost daughter. So maybe if you stuck around here at night, you'd catch some of that stuff. But we've got some other spots to check out. So let's head back to the truck, hop in and get headed on down the road and see what else we can find. Whew, it's actually warm out there. It's like 82 degrees out today. It's probably a little loud for you guys. All right, so I've got another spot picked out, and it's gonna be a bit of a drive. We've got roughly like an hour and 20-minute drive south. I don't know if I can leave you guys sitting up there. We've got another spot to check out, and we'll see what that place is all about. It is one that I'm not sure of the exact location of it, but it is one of those common Nebraska things, and I'm pretty confident that we can find it. So I need to go hit a gas station, fill my tank, and we'll get on the road and get headed south and see what we can find. Stay tuned, y'all. All right, y'all, we have made it to our second spot. So I am a few miles south of Nebraska City, Nebraska, and ahead of me is what is known as Seven Sisters Road. So the story goes that way back in the day, I believe it was like the 17 or 1800s, probably 1800s, there were seven sisters that were murdered by a family member, and they were hung from trees on the top of the hills on this road. According to urban legend, which has been circulating for more than a century, it says that a young man once lived along the meandering road in an area known to have had seven hills. Residing on a farm southeast of Nebraska City, he lived with his parents and seven sisters. According to the tale, he was very angry after arguing with his family, and that night he hid in the woods, and as his parents left the house one evening, he then, one by one, either forced or enticed his sisters outside of the house with him. The young man then led them to the top of each hill and hanged each one of them from a tree until they were dead. Nobody knows what happens to the bodies, and furthermore, no official reports have been found to substantiate the hangings, but the legends persist. This is a legend of Nebraska that I have heard about for many, many years, but I have never made it down here. But you guys mentioned in one of the live streams that I needed to come check it out, so here we are. You can see the road out in front of me, and you can also see one of our power stations off in the distance. And as you can see the power station, the road goes up into a hill. We can go ahead and head on down that direction, I suppose. And there's multiple hills right here. I haven't counted them, but this is supposedly the most haunted road in Nebraska. You see it comes down into another hill and another one. And this looks to be a fairly unused area. You can see there's trash. It looks like an old couch. And it's a very hilly area. So supposedly at the peaks or around all the tops of these hills, they were hung. There's a big tree right there. And if you come into this road from the other side, which I did, there are signs at the bottom that say there's no parking along the road because it was such a popular spot. You can see right there, there's a house tag, but there's no house back here. Nothing that I can see anyways. Bunch of no trespassing signs up everywhere. It's definitely a creepy spot. If you were out in the bottom of one of these cuts, nobody's gonna see you or hear you down here. It's kind of wild to think about. I have a feeling that this is just an urban legend kind of thing, but you never know what happened, right? So we come down here. Here's one of the signs that say no parking. If you spin back around, there's like an old guardrail just posted right there, which seems really odd to me. Maybe the road kind of curved around right here at one point. And we go up to the top of another hill. If you search Seven Sisters Road, Nebraska, there are multiple stories and multiple articles about this place that you can check out and read if you want to. But I'm gonna keep heading down the road here. I need to find a camp spot for tonight, and we've got one more spot that I want to check out, but we are probably gonna wait until tomorrow morning, as we do need to find somewhere to camp tonight. So I'm gonna take a look at my phone and see what else is down in this area, see if there's a spot I can find to camp at, and I'll see you guys a little bit farther down the road. All right, y'all, we've made it to a spot. Not a bad one. Let's get this thing opened up. Bada bing, bada boom. I like to lock that back on there so nobody can close it and lock me in. Although I can still open the window with the tire closed, so it's easy to get in and out. Well, it's gonna be a pretty chill night since we're still in the burn ban, and I didn't bring any propane with me for that propane fire pit. I was hoping to get a smaller bottle, but I have not gone and looked for one yet. Get my lights hooked up here. Had to charge my batteries. There we go. Now you guys can see me. Yeah, it's pretty windy out there still. Let's see. Current weather conditions, it says it's 81 degrees where I'm at. Feels like 82. And we're in a red flag warning until late tonight, which is the wind advisory. I don't even know what the wind is blowing at. Let me see if I can tell you guys that. Currently 24 mile an hour winds. But I know the gusts have been way, way higher than that. Gotta remember how to get out of this thing. I'm like crawling down, super old man status, hands and knees. I feel like I used to just hop in and out of this thing. It's so much taller. Dang old kids and their toys. Well, I have had one of these, but this was sent into the P.O. box, so we're jamming this. Liquid Death Convicted Melon. And we've got a nice lake right here. And the sun, if you can see it, is going down right behind me. Anyways, yeah, I've had this drink before. It's tasty. It is tasty. Nice spot. A little bit of road noise, not too bad. I'm excited to check out the spot in the morning. It's the spot in the morning is much more, I would say, morbid, because it's true, like 100% true. These other two are stories. You know what I'm saying? The next one, it's a real one, but we'll have ourselves some dinner first, I guess. Got the tablet with me tonight. I actually picked myself up a new one. We've got a new, slightly larger tablet, so pretty stoked on that. We'll give that thing a try tonight, and yeah, we'll make some food. You guys sent in some stuff, so we're gonna give it all a shot tonight. But for now, I'm just gonna hang out, enjoy the sunset, and the train horn that you guys can hear, a la Nebraska. Do this. There's a swing. Swang gang. Swang gang. You always got to swang. I would probably swang the other way, but for the sake of the shot, we're swanging this way. Been really stoked on the truck. The engine's running really good. I can tell the gas mileage is worse, but I've also been probably not driving it as nice as I used to, just because it's nice and loud, but super stoked on it so far. I really want to get the gears done, but I had to pay the man, so put some money back in my pocket, I guess, before we do that nonsense. Swang gang. All right, I want to turn around and look at the lake. Ooh. It's a much better view. Somebody's got some exhaust out there. It's cool to see a truck that doesn't have 4 doors. I mean, it does. It doesn't have 4 door handles. It still looks like a coupe. Got that Silverado coupe. Big old horsepower. Swang gang. Lost our light pretty quick out there. Give you guys some light. There we go. I got the truck locked. Let's put these in here. I do need to get new batteries for my carbon monoxide detector. Maybe I have some batteries. I'll have to look. I might actually have batteries in here. Yeah. I took them out of this thing for whatever reason. What are those? It's double A's, right? It's got to be a double A. I thought maybe I had some batteries in here somewhere. Yeah. Although I think those are, no, they're double A's. I got lights, or I got batteries, like D batteries for a fan that I don't even have in here. Why don't you make it take 2 or 4 or 3? Ooh. Scary. It scared me too. Yeah, why not make it take 2 or 4? Like 3, that's annoying because they don't sell batteries in packs of 3. They're hustling you. That's for sure. All right. So we've got our carbon monoxide alarm going. All right, I'm gonna get myself something to eat quick before I watch anything on the old tube. So if you watched the last live stream, we got quite a few things to eat, and I think pretty much everything in here was from the last live. So we've got some zombie Takis for Halloween, because today is Halloween, I guess. For you guys, it's Halloween. And it says they're habanero and cucumber, extreme hotness. We'll give that a try. I did pick this up. We've got some Fritos mild cheddar cheese. And I got some tortillas from home, some little corn tortillas. I believe those are corn, right? Yeah, corn tortillas. We have this paste ghost pepper habanero salsa. This came in on the live, and I'm excited to try this. I have a feeling it's going to be hot. It says it's extra hot on the label, but never seen this before. That looks tasty, so I'm excited to try that. And then we are going to use 1 or 2 of these Starkist Smart Bowl rice and beans with tuna, spicy pepper. So I had no idea these were a thing. It's kind of a bummer that my lights are above this shelf, because if I get it close to you guys, anyways. So I grabbed a couple of them. These came in on the live, and I've never seen these before. It looks interesting. I guess there's a few different flavors. They have tomato, basil, zesty lemon, and then they have quinoa and beans in Latin citrus. But we'll try this, and we'll make this ramen. And this is ghost pepper spicy chicken flavor ramen. I think I may have had some of this before. I'm not sure. This is all going to be very spicy, but we're going to give it a whirl. We'll just make these like little ramen, rice and bean tuna tacos. And oh yeah, I got some of that mild cheddar. We'll just make some of that and dump some of the cheese on there and see what it's all about. I suppose just move this all in front of me. I think I'm gonna need this. Kind of move some of my junk around. Maybe use that. Why would I don't know if we're gonna need both of these, but we've got them. And yeah, let's just get this ramen going quick. Hopefully it's not too dang spicy, but we'll find out. Shouldn't need too much water for this. Can you guys hear the train? This is like actually like a plastic bowl. Dang it, tore it. Done tort my lid. Oh, look at that. No, I've never had these. It comes with its own fold out fork. Check this out. I have never seen that. Look at that. A fold out fork. Never seen that before. I'm gonna have to keep that. Can you unfold it and use it twice without breaking it? I think so, yeah. Dude, that's wild. I've never seen that. And yeah, it's darker noodles. And then this must be the super spicy sauce. So we don't need much water for that at all. Don't need my knife out anymore. Because we're gonna end up dumping that water out anyways. That's gotta be enough. Helps if you take this off the bottom of there. Can't tell you how many times I've actually done that, but it's a lot. All right, we're cooking there. I'm sure you guys are gonna yell at me, but I don't know. I guess we can do something to maybe heat up these tortillas. If I don't, you guys are gonna freak out. I still have this. Oh yeah, I got this thing. We can use this to heat up some tortillas. It's like you can use it on top of this thing to cook with, but you can set a tortilla on top of that. All right, you're good to go there. Should I just grab a plate? Should probably just grab a plate. There we go. All right, we're definitely boiling on that. Yeah, that's hot. More than enough water. I'm just gonna dump the rest of this out. Alright, yeah, let's just try to heat up some of these tortillas while that ramen's cooking, I guess. I'll just take this. You do gotta kind of get it pretty hot though. There we go. Yeah, it's getting hot. Alright. It's hot. Very hot. Toasted them just a tiny little bit. I'm not going to be able to get them off of there if I leave them on too long. It's heating it up in here very quickly. Alright, we're just going to call that good because I want to shut that thing off. Made it very hot in here. I'm gonna have to set this down somewhere. Be fine. Well, I mean, you got to do the real G thing and dump the water out before you put this in there. I'm feeling it's gonna be super, super hot. That's how we're gonna do it though. Feels nice with that open. The plastic cup is surprising, I'll be honest with you. That is very surprising. I still want to let all the bugs in. Let me get this fan going though. Give me a little bit of fan action. We can move this over. Okay, I think we are just about ready. Mix this in there. That's like Black Death sauce. All right. I don't know if I even want to try that on its own. That smells very, very spicy. Look at that. That smells rough, dude. Rough. All right, this I'm excited about. I don't know about that. Like, it seems kind of wild to me that they put all this together like pre-made, but you don't know what it looks like until you open it up. You know what I mean? It doesn't look terrible. Like if you fluff that up a bit, it looks like there's some vegetables in there. There's corn. That looks like maybe carrots also. There's definitely corn in there. Corn, beans, some peppers or something. All right, well, let's make ourselves some little tacos here. little bit of cheese action. A little cheese. A little bit of spicy noodle. And we'll go a little bit of beans and tuna. And some spicy paste. Dude, this is probably going to be hot. This is probably all just going to be hot. I have a feeling those noodles are going to be really hot. Might need to douse it in some extra cheese. Ooh, I can already tell that's going to be spicy. All right. Let's not give myself another heart attack here. But tiny spicy ramen taco. Try to tell you what the spiciest thing is. You know, that's not too bad altogether. I do feel like the tuna maybe cut some of that down. Got the noodle dangle though. Oh. Really, that's not bad. Ooh. I'm going to speak too soon on that one. I'm immediately like dripping sweat. That's spicy. I think everything has a kick to it. But those noodles are tasty. Yep, I'm just over here dripping sweat all of a sudden. I don't know what the heat's coming from. It's just coming from all of it. I'll try to get a little bit more of that on there. All right. I'm going to try this one without the salsa. See if it's all in the salsa or if it's all in the noodles. I've had the cheese before. I mean, the cheese has got a little kick to it, but it's not super spicy. Those are spicy noodles. I don't know if you guys can see the sweat just dripping off my face. We still got to try these Takis. Whew. This is the spiciest stuff I've had in a while. Like, can you guys see the sweat dripping off my face? I can feel it dripping down my neck. We're going in on it though. We got the extra cheese on there. Hopefully that settles it down. I still gotta try the Takis. Wow. It'll clear out your sinuses. That's for sure. All right. That stuff ain't no joke. I have a feeling these aren't going to be either. We got to give it a shot though, right? It was green. Can you see the green on there? There we go. That is really weird with the cucumber on there. I don't know about that. It's like a spicy cucumber flavor. That's really weird. I'm glad I read what it was before I ate one, or that would be a really like unsettling flavor. Yeah, spicy cucumber. I'm just dripping over here. I think that's going to be it for me for the spicy noodles. Ooh, buddy. I'm going to kill this, though. Well, I gotta say the noodles were spicier than I expected them to be. I had a feeling that the picante sauce was going to be pretty hot. Overall, everything was just a bit spicy. The Takis are different. I don't know about those. But cheers, y'all. That was pretty tasty. And the tuna with the rice and beans, very nice. That's a good little snack, a good little meal. Like, I definitely am glad I brought 2 of those. It's only 4.5 ounces, so it is what it is. But mixed together with some stuff like this, like put that on a salad, do anything like that with it, it's gonna be tasty. I dug that. But I'm gonna get this junk cleaned up and get myself a movie going. So this has a screen that's a couple inches bigger than the last one, which is pretty nice. This was like an old model. I don't know. It was a couple $100 off of its list price or whatever, so it wasn't bad. So I downloaded a few like horror movies. On Netflix, I have the new Scream. I haven't seen that one. I think it's from like a couple of years ago. I don't know if it's a remake or not. I also have It Chapter 2. I have not seen the second one yet. I have Zombieland, which that's a great flick. I did download a couple things on Prime. Spaceballs, The Burbs, and Tropic Thunder. So we're not going to jam any of that tonight. I think I'm going to watch It Chapter 2. I bet it's a long one too. Ooh, it's almost 3 hours long. I don't know. We'll see if I get through it. So this is from 2019. Defeated by members of the Losers Club, the evil clown Pennywise returns 27 years later to terrorize the town of Dairy Maid once again. Now adults, the childhood friends have long since gone their separate ways, so they must get back together, blah, 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 blah. It should be a good horror flick for this evening. Wait, oh, was it going? Oh, it was. All right. I'm gonna get these lights shut off. Nice.
Didn't this place used to be bigger?
Oh, good morning, y'all. I tell you what, that was a little bit of a rough night of sleep. It was warm. I just put my shirt back on so you guys didn't have to see my moobs. But it was warm in here last night, man. 70 degrees all night. Not the easiest stuff to sleep in. And showing y'all that skin. And I don't know why I didn't think about it. I didn't bring any shorts with me. Normally I'd have shorts. But, you know, it's the end of October and it's 70 degrees all night long. It's kind of wild. But we just had a cold front come through, so the temperature is going to be dropping all day. Alright. Well, this coffee was sent in on the last live, so I figured we'd give it a shot. That's nothing I've ever seen before. Slate mocha latte. Shake gently, crack slowly. High protein iced coffee. I'll see what this is all about. It's a beautiful morning though. It's very calm out here. It's fairly cloudy though, so no bright sunlight. It was, you know, I kind of woke up a little bit easier than usual. I didn't get the blast right in the face of the sunlight. It's not bad. Tastes like some other coffee drinks I've had before. Does taste more like an energy drink than a coffee drink. But 20 grams of protein in here, that's not a bad way to start your day. Probably just take that as my something that I'm supposed to eat for breakfast because I didn't bring a banana with me. I don't know if I feel like making any oatmeal or anything. But we gotta find that spot this morning. I did a little bit more looking. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to actually find the farm of where it happened, but all right, well, I got changed and I sat here for far too long trying to find the specific address of this place, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. But it's a good story either way. I do have a general location, so we'll just head out that way. And I have one photo from what I believe is probably like 1985 or something. So we'll see if we can find it with that, but just heading on down the road and see what happens. Heave-ho. Well, the sun is poking out. Heave-ho. To head to the town of Rulo, Nebraska, which is like on the very southeast corner of the state. It's right down there, like it's right on the river and border of the state. So we're gonna head down there, and there is an incredibly wild story that happened down there in the 80s. Alright, so I've made it into the small town of Rulo. We're gonna go down here by the river to start, as there's a campsite down here, and it's actually where I was planning to stay last night. And I came down here and there was like 3 or 4 campers down here, and there's only like 6 spots. So I chose to go back to that other park, but give you a look at the town from down there, and we'll see what we can find of this spot. And as you can see, you've got the vehicle bridge and the railroad bridge right here. There's, I don't know, 3 campers sitting here right now. Rat Campground. And then you've got access to the Missouri River right here. There's a boat ramp right there that you can use. See if I can set this camera up and not have it vibrating too much. See if I can give you guys a quick rundown of what we're looking for here. So it was known as the Yahweh Cult, or that was a name they gave it. But back in the 1980s, here in Rulo, there was a farm just north of town, and there was a guy by the name of Michael Ryan, and he became like a spiritual leader. He called himself an archangel, and he preyed on people like through the coming of end times, and he used like a mixture of survivalism and heavy arms. He was like, you know, kind of like a prepper cult. You see a lot of those these days too. And they went around and stole farm equipment and other stuff from nearby properties. Like I said, we're right on the border here. We're right on the border of Kansas also. And then eventually they had a few people that lived with them at this spot. The group contained more than 20 people, many of whom were children. The people left their previous lives behind to join Ryan and his cause. He had such command over them that when he ordered one follower to abuse his own 5-year-old son, the man did it without question. And you can look up these stories. They are pretty brutal. But after that, they brutally tortured one of the followers for days, chained him up in a hog shed, and committed acts so shocking and horrific that we won't give you the full story here. Honestly, I probably couldn't tell you guys that stuff on YouTube without getting the video demonetized or something like that. But the whole farm was raided, and they dug stuff up. They dug things up, and they found a couple of bodies, huge quantities of guns, ammunition, and explosives. And he was eventually convicted of these murder charges, and he was put on death row, but I believe he died. He died of natural causes on death row in 2015. Although he is gone and most of the hog farm buildings have been demolished or simply swallowed by time, the memory of these terrible events will live on in the memories of Nebraskans, and particularly those who call the sweet little town of Rulo home. So I spent like close to 2 hours trying to find an address for this place, and I can't find it. There's one picture in this article, and I can, if I remember right, I'll put a link to the article down there. I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see that. That's the only picture that I've been able to find of the area. So we'll see. Other than that, I figured I found an article saying that it was 2 miles north of town. And if you look at maps, there's not a whole lot on the river 2 miles north of town. There's basically only a few places that I feel like this thing could be at. So I'm gonna go drive around a little bit and see what I can find. See if I can spot the house or one of the buildings. But like the article said, most of them are gone. And this happened 40 years ago. You know, I think he was convicted in like 1985. So it's old. The buildings are probably gone by now, but we'll see what we can find. Other than that, this is a nice spot down here. If I had a camper, staying in the campground wouldn't have sucked last night being down here on the river, but the two bridges right here are cool. It's a cool sight, like backdrop to this campground. So there's the big bridge right there. There's an old historical marker there. And like a building just falling into the earth. So there's a road right in front of me, that one. It kind of goes down along I guess it's not even a road. I feel like there's maps looks like a road, but that might just be somebody's driveway. This is a minimum maintenance road. Well, there's property for sale down here if you want to buy it. For all I know, that could be the property. I think there's, from maps, looks like there's one other spot up here that's got buildings on it. But other than that, like, I don't see anything. I definitely don't see anything that looks like the building in that picture. There's a dead-end road right there, a bunch of private property signs. Looks like there's some farm equipment up on that hill. Other than that, I don't see much. There's a little bit up there. Not really seeing any buildings. There was an enclosure up here for sure. You can see it on maps. No trespassing, no trespassing. Rough whole road here. I don't see anything in there. I don't know if I want to keep following this road through here, but we're gonna. Well, all the way up here, like, I haven't seen any actual farm buildings, just like remnants. But like I said, it was 40 years ago. And it doesn't surprise me that there's, it really doesn't surprise me that there's nothing left. Feel like I'm in one of those hills have eyes type of spots. And we're coming up to a better road up here. Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna not hang around this location, that's for sure. Alright, well, no success on finding any building that resembled that one. But that road and this whole area is kind of wild. Like, look at all these cars down here, dude. Check that thing out. It's a different spot in the state, that's for sure. And, you know, we had a couple of like ghost story type things, but this last one is completely true. It's not a haunted tale. It's definitely one of those dark things in the history of the state. But I think on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.